Welcome back everybody. So in today's video I'll be going through a full and comprehensive wildcard game week 6 guide, and as you can read from the title, yes, I have wildcarded, and basically my hand has been forced because there's just been a lot of price swings, and if I don't react, I estimated I could lose like 0.8 to 1 million, which is quite crazy. Yeah, so my hand has been forced. I would have loved to wait for game week 13 like everybody else was planning, perhaps because of the fixture swings, but it looks like it's not happening. I have to react now, and I have reacted now. Anyways, as I said, this video is going to be full and comprehensive guide, so I have dedicated chapters for goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and forwards. I'll go through every single, possibility, every single popular pick, and we'll dive deep and find out who we should be getting for our wildcards. And the last section I've dedicated to the 2 drafts. One draft I'm gonna go with, which is a little bit risky, another safer template draft, and I'll go through the transfer plans for each of these drafts. So yeah, let's start with the goalkeepers. So guys, before we get to the goalkeepers, let's start with a blank page. So we've removed every single player. Obviously you can see some names, but these were names I was just testing, so take them with a pinch of salt. But we do have nailed players. We do have players that we are 100% sure of, at least one player for every position. And those players for me are obviously Dubravka, and then in defense it's Senesi. You'd be crazy not to go for Senesi. They're one of the best defenses. I think he's gotten defensive contributions every single game week, and he's cheap. And he's also a good aerial threat, especially the season he was actually playing, which is 2 seasons ago, because last season he wasn't first choice. In midfield, I would say it's obviously Reinders. You have a nailed on City attacker for 5.5 or 5.6 actually now, but I got him in game week 1, so he's 5.5 for me. Finally, in attack, one super clear option is Haaland, so let's just put Haaland in there. And guys, yes, these are the 4 players, the 4 core players, and now let's start with the goalkeepers. So this is fpl.team, where you have every team's fixtures. Obviously I use this for transfer plans, not just for the fixture ticker, but it is nice, helps you plan. And what we're doing here is essentially looking at the possible goalkeepers to pair with Dubravka. So you have here Dubravka at the top. Let's make a few spaces, and we have to choose one of those 4 guys. And there's a reason I've chosen those 4 guys. First reason is they're at different price points. So let's say you have another position in midfield, defense, or forward that you need to get a million spare or half a million spare. You can juggle these around and you'll manage to find what you need, or you can find some spare money. One name I want to cross out almost immediately, and I'll explain in a second once we go to the numbers, is Henderson. And I guess I can start first. Let me just go through different teams and tell you why I've chosen these guys. So obviously Raya, Martinez I'm not really a fan of. Aston Villa I just want to steer away, especially since they have Europe. Petrovic I have right here. Ignore. Sanchez just got a red card. Even though he can play next week, I'm just not sure if he's gonna ever be dropped by Jorgensen. Plus I'm not a big fan of Chelsea to begin with. And then we have Henderson. I have his name right here. Pickford, he's 5.5. Might as well pick Raya. It's not like Pickford gets defensive contributions. Yes, he gets saves and stuff, but if you're gonna pay 5.5, might as well pay for the premium keeper that plays for the arguably the best defense in the league. Ignore. Donnarumma, again, 5.5. Yes, he's absolutely amazing, but whose defense is better? Arsenal, City's? It's definitely Arsenal. Don't think too much about it. That's why we only have Raya here. Ignore. We have Pope right here. Ignore. So we got these 4 players to choose from. Let's switch right here. So let's look at Henderson, for example. And almost immediately we can tell that they are a good team. They have 3 CS, but the more important thing that I look at is the XGC, or the XGC per 90. So they're roughly facing an XGC of almost 1 per game, which is good. This is actually excellent, and especially considering the teams they faced. Well, this was a defending Nottingham Forest, and they still managed 0.93, and they got a goal. Villa are crap, they still managed 1.13. Sunderland aren't a good attack, so that's expected. West Ham, Chelsea 1.6, which is decent, I guess, against Chelsea. But as you guys will see, the other teams or the other goalkeepers have way better XGC. Let's just remove his name real quick, and I'll show you the other three and why their price points are impressive. So you got 5.5, 5.0, 4.5. Then depending how you choose the rest of your team, you might be wanting to save 1 million. So you'd go for Petrovic. You want to save 500,000. You can go for Pope. And if you don't want to save any money and you have a lot of money, just go for Raya. It's that simple. But I'll go through these three players, goalkeepers, really quickly before we get to the defenders. So let's look at Petrovic. So you guys will see right here. Hopefully it's clear on the screen. It is. The XGC is super low. These guys know how to defend. They're defending away to Spurs 0.19. That's almost like, what, a chance or two at most, and not a good chance either. Not good chances. And Newcastle, who are, you know, usually good up front and they pose a lot of, you know, threat, 0.14. That's absolutely nuts. Brighton, they're a very good attack as well, 0.62. Wolves we can ignore, but still 0.46. The only downside is away to Liverpool, but they're not playing Liverpool every week, so yeah, that's fine. 2.21, first game of the season. They're still, you know, gelling together after the departure of Huijsen and what was the other defender's name? It was Huijsen and God, I forgot. He went to PSG and one of them went to Madrid. Anyways, so they lost two center backs and Kirkaz in left back. So there's a lot of shuffling going on, and Kepa. So it's fine. We can forgive them for this first one. Excellent goalkeeper in my opinion, playing for an excellent defensive team. Next is Pope, who has he's done even better. He's done even better, which is shocking. Guys, you don't know how difficult it is to get, you know, an XGC lower than 1 to begin with, and then do it 5 times in a row, especially against Liverpool, especially against, I was gonna say Villa, but they've been awful, so who cares. And they got a red card that game, but especially against Bournemouth away, I think you know, they're onto something, Newcastle. So yeah, he's one to look at. For 5 million, I think is a perfect price point. Lastly, Raya, who should be the best goalkeeper this year because he plays for the best defense, and they've played against United, who have been generating at least like 2 XG per game against everybody. So they're not to be scoffed at, and away to Liverpool and home to City. Now if you look at the numbers, aside from United, who I just said they always generate XG, so you can ignore, 0.17, 0.52, 0.20, and because of Haaland's big chance, this was 0.89, and I think they got 2 chances that game, 2 big chances, that was it. Yeah, it could have easily been like nothing. It could have been like 0.2 or 0.1 had they marked Haaland a little bit better. But yeah, so obviously, I mean, this goes without saying, Arsenal are the best defense in the league, and if you have spare money, do go for Arsenal. But so I'm gonna put Raya because I personally had spare money in both drafts, even in the template, and he's an amazing set and forget. You never ever have to think about the goalkeeper because he's pretty much nailed all the time, every single game. So guys, in terms of defense, we're gonna have a lot of names on the sheet, because if you go through Arsenal's squad, there's Timber, Calafiori, Saliba, and mainly Gabriel, but I have to mention the other players because some people are buying them, and I did say we'll be looking through almost every single possibility. Villa, let's ignore. Bournemouth, I mean, you just need Senesi, you don't need to think about the other ones. Brentford, ignore. Brighton, ignore. Burnley, ignore. Chelsea, there's Chalobah, I'd say. Cucurella, yeah, but I think fullbacks are dead, especially for 6 million. No thank you. Richards, Gehi, and Lacroix for Crystal Palace. Tarkovsky for Everton. Anderson for Fulham. Rodon for Leeds, and or Goodmanson. I just prefer the center back, as I just said. Virgil van Dijk, Gvardiol, nobody. Burn, nobody. Of course, it's Forest. I swear, what a disappointment. Van de Ven, Romero, even though I don't like Van de Ven that much. Yes, he scored, yeah, whatever, but he's not getting any defensive contributions. I think he's gotten 0 points from defensive contributions in the 5 game weeks that he's played. Maybe once? No, I don't think so. Anyways, Alderete, nobody. And I've already done the homework. You guys can see the players here. And if we were to remove some players, do I need to remove? Like Van de Ven and Romero. No thanks. Even though I know like Spurs are a good defense, but like I just not really sold on them. I mean, I guess I'll keep Romero. Gahey, Lacroix, and Richards. I mean, Richards is like 4.6. Just pick the cheapest one. He'll do the job. Shaloba. Tarkovsky is 5.5. But if Senesi and Richards and Anderson are doing the exact same thing Tarkovsky is doing, why would you pay $1 million extra? He's gone. Who else, guys? Who else? In terms of Calafiori, Timber, and Saliba, I mean, if you're gonna go for a center back, in my opinion, especially since Calafiori and Timber, I think they're more likely to be rested. Not many games. I think they're first choice, kinda. But personally speaking, my preference is just go with the nailed players. The last thing you want is a player coming on in the 80th minute, especially a defender, and he gets you that measly 1 point. I just prefer, you know, that nailedness, so I'll just delete those two. Yeah, I think this is a rough guide of the players you should be looking at. I guess Virgil has a lot of difficult games, and if you're paying 6.1, might as well just get Gabriel, if that makes sense. So I can also remove him. But yeah, roughly these are the players that you should be looking at. And if we go here, let's look at the list again. So I'll go through them really quickly. So Gabriel, he doesn't get a lot of defensive contributions, but again, Arsenal have the best defense, so he has that going for him. He did have a good chance against Forest, and he's known to get goals. He's averaged like 3.5 goals past 5-6 seasons, and with Saka coming back, I think he's gonna whip corners that, you know, help Gabriel. Is he essential? I wouldn't say he's essential, especially if you've got Raya, that you got the defense covered. Mainly because of the defensive contributions. He only got them once and barely, just about. Yeah. So looking at Saliba is the same thing. If anything, I don't know why you would get Saliba if you can get Gabriel. Shaloba, the thing is, he's amazing, but some Chelsea fans are saying he's not nailed, and Maresca is really giving me the creeps. I'm not even sure about him anymore. That's why I'm not gonna delete his name, but I'm not gonna pay him too much attention. But I mean, I'll show you the stats very quickly. So guys, if you want Shaloba, he's amazing in terms of aerial threat. He's posing insane XG and XA, by the way. Defensive contributions, he's doing very well. 3 in the last 3 games, and he could have gotten it against Crystal Palace, and against West Ham he was substituted out. Yeah, and I think West Ham were down to 10 men, so yeah, Chelsea were keeping almost all of the ball or the possession, so he wasn't gonna get DCs. That's fine, he's excused. But yeah, the guy has 2 goals and an assist. The guy's perfect, so he is on my watch list. It's just I'm scared, especially with the turn of fixtures, because Brighton are no joke offensively, Liverpool are good, Forest are abandoning defense because of Postecoglou and just attacking. Yeah, of course, then it gets a lot better. So he's not a bad shout in my opinion, but again, the Chelsea fans are saying no, or like let's ignore, whatever. Richards is amazing. I'm not gonna go through his numbers. He's just very good. He's got in DC, I think 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, and he's just cheap. And Crystal Palace are good. Anderson, again, he's gotten 4 out of 5 defensive contributions, and he's cheap and he's good. Rodon, same thing. Leeds aren't pushovers. He's actually done very well. I just realized I don't have his Stev on this list, but it's just between Rodon and his Stev. I guess you can have both. It doesn't matter. Both or either, actually. Gvardiol, again, if you're paying this much money, I mean, I'll show you Gvardiol for a second. He's only played 2 games, and he has decent DC, and even though United attacked quite a lot, by the way, 1.51 XGC, he still only got 3. Yeah, and they sat back the most of the game against Arsenal. I don't think they're going to be sitting back against anybody else, so I don't see him getting any defensive contributions. So actually, he goes. Burn I'm in love with. Burn is gorgeous. So he's got a lot of points. 4 CS. Of course, they're not going to keep maintaining this CS streak. There's no way. 4 CS out of 5 is quite impressive. especially away to Bournemouth, and I mean, they didn't get one at home to Liverpool, but yeah, the guy got defensive contributions in 3 out of 5. I don't know what happened against Leeds. I guess they kept the ball for the entirety of the game. That's the only way, I guess. If we go here, yeah, I was just following the games. So if we go Newcastle, I just want to double check what happened that game. Let me just see what game it was. So it's away to Leeds. If we go away to Leeds, did they keep most of the ball? 57%. That's quite a lot of the ball. I think it was like a evenish match, but not much going on, so that's weird. But anyways, the guy is good. He's 5.0. He's good in the air, even though he hasn't had a chance yet. I think it's between him and Chalobah, especially if Chalobah's like nailed 100%, which I think he is. But again, those pesky Chelsea fans, I don't know, they made me doubt him. Romero, I'm not a big fan. I don't know why I'm put off. I think because he, when I think Romero, I think yellow cards for some reason, even though he hasn't gotten any. Oh, he's gotten 2, so maybe I am right. And last year, how many did he get? 3, 7, 9, 8. He only got 3 last year. Yeah, but that's because he only played 18 games, or had 18 starts. Yeah, I don't know. Again, for 5.1, I think might as well get Chalobah. Lastly, Alderete. He's another Rodon. He's just Sunderland. He's Sunderland's Rodon and Estev. So he's also good. That he could be one of the choices. So to pick the players, I mean, currently it's very close between Burn and Chalobah, but I'll go Burn just for now, even though I think I might go Chalobah by the time the deadline comes. And the other players will be Richards, Rodon, and Anderson. So let's move on to the midfielders. Okay guys, so in terms of midfielders, this is a cheat sheet. You guys can already see the players I picked. So Saka, because Madueke is injured, I guess Saka, of course Saka like was always a starter, but like now he's super assured of minutes. We don't have to worry that much about him being dropped, even though, you know, Arteta's surprising people this year. I think he might start rotating quite a little bit. But yeah, so Saka's an option. I'm just going to go through all the options. Villa, forget about them. Bournemouth is just Semenyo. Brentford, forget. Caicedo and Enzo, I have them right here because Palmer's injured. Sarr, but he's injured, so I didn't put his name yet because he hasn't played any minutes. Everton, Ndiaye and Grealish. Fulham, Stack, because he's 5.0, he's on set pieces and he's nailed, and he gets defensive contributions. Liverpool, there's only Salah and Gakpo, but even Gakpo, like, I don't even know why I have his name here. He's gonna start getting rotated quite a lot because Isak's gonna start getting some minutes, and they have tough fixtures, but I put his name either way. Salah, of course, he's the Egyptian king. United, you have Fernandes, Cunha, and Mbeumo. Newcastle, you got Gordon, he's back. And Forest, Anderson, or Gibbs White, but don't get Forest, guys. Just don't get Forest players. In fact, I'm gonna remove Anderson. I don't even want him anymore in the list. Spurs, Simmons, and Kudus, but they don't have nice fixtures in the long run. So what I'll do is I'll start chopping off some names. So Gakpo's out, tough fixtures. They have Crystal Palace and Chelsea away, so no thank you. Spurs do have nice fixtures, but then they're not scoring that many goals. They're more defensive side, I would say, and they have not nice fixtures going forward, I guess. Offensively, Leeds sit back. Villa are good defensively, surprisingly, or okay, not that good. They're okay. Everton will sit back. Chelsea, United, Arsenal, and Simmons is not assured of minutes. I mean, he should be. They paid quite a lot of money. But for these prices, why not go for other players? You know what I mean? Like Ndiaye, penalties, defensive contributions. Everton are looking good in attack somehow. I'm gonna remove their names. Feel free to have them. I don't know. Personally, I think my advice is just ignore them. Caicedo is not that exciting. For 5.5, why? Just get maybe Dewsbury Hall or Enzo or Stack and just save that 0.5. I mean, Enzo, I mean, Palmer is out and Enzo's on penalties as far as we know, unless Pedro decides to take them all of a sudden. Well, I'll keep him here as an option. Grealish is just more expensive than DI, and if he's going to be passing to somebody, he's most likely going to be passing it to DI, and DI is on penalties. He's getting defensive contributions. I mean, I love Grealish. He's turned Everton into a beast of an attack, but I'd rather just take in DI, who's going to be on, you know, the receiving end of those tap-ins. So I'll just take his name out, but he is a good option. He's a good option. I'm just making this list shorter. And as always, I'm very biased to United, so I'm gonna keep all three. I think Mbeumo and Cunha are sleeping, but when they wake up, guys, best believe they're gonna destroy the opposition. Fernandes is you know, he's just sticking along. He's on penalties, set pieces, defensive contributions every once in a while, and even got a, you know, a goal, a non-set piece goal last week. So let's not talk too much. I'll just show you what I've picked. And first is Fernandes. And you're going to be shocked, all right? You're going to be shocked, so bear with me. So Ndiaye is not going to shock you. The next two picks will shock you because it's Mbeumo. And this one's going to be super shocking. And that's why I said I'm going to be taking a risk. And you guys, if I were you, I'd just do this. I'd just do this and not think about it at all. Or if you want to save the money and go like expensive up front, do this. Remove, stack. Then you have a lot of money to play with up front. Look, 19 left and you only have 2 spots to fill. What I've done is, and don't do this, but I've gone for this. And I'll discuss it a little bit more in the transfer plans. I haven't gone for this 100%. Of course, I can still change my mind, but there is a possibility I go for Cunha. So triple United midfield and free hit, spoiler alert, free hit game week 8 when they're away to Liverpool, because the rest of the fixtures look absolutely amazing. So speaking of, so I'll go through why these players are good, all these players, even though I just alluded to it. So Saka is expensive. We're not sure how he's gonna fit. He's lost penalties, which was a huge part of his, you know, appeal. That's why I wouldn't go for Saka. Semenyo is absolutely amazing. Guys, there aren't a lot of choices in midfield. You'd think this should be like my longest section in the video. It's not. I'm making it longer right now by talking too much about these same players over and over. But like Saka, I'd ignore. Semenyo is good. Enzo is good. But let's look at Enzo. Let's look at what we know about Enzo so far. Yeah, he got on a goal and assist. Those were penalties. Well, actually, one of them was a normal goal. One of them was a penalty, if I remember correctly. Nothing against United, but they were down to 10 men. Nothing going to Brentford, but he did pose some threat. And I watched that. Did I watch that game? I didn't watch that game, actually, no. Palace, he was nowhere, but that's understandable. It was a tough game. In terms of defensive contributions, he only got it once against Brentford. I mean, should you get Enzo? I swear, in my opinion, no. No, just get Stack, save the money. That's just my opinion. In terms of DI, I mean, I already explained why you should get in DI. I'll show you again. He's sticking along amazingly. He's getting the chances. Yeah, he didn't get much against Villa, but he got defensive contributions. He'll get you something. He's 6.5. He's always getting defensive contributions. It was a little bit close in these games, but nevertheless, he did get goals. He was getting chances. He is on penalties. He's 6.5. You're not gonna expect that much from the guy. And you could always, you know, just get Semenyo and Stack instead of DI and whoever. You know what I mean? Stack, of course, he'll be stacked on your defense, on your bench all the time, but he's good. He's playing 90 minutes. He's on set pieces. He's dangerous. Look, the guy's dangerous. He's getting chances. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into these, but 0.08 means he at least had a chance, whereas other players we've seen might have not gotten anything during a game. Yeah, and he's getting defensive contributions. He's gotten them twice. He was a little bit far here, even though, like, I would think he would have gotten them in these 3 games, not these 2. But at least he's getting them. That's what matters. And he's 5.0. Just stick him to the bench and just forget about him. You know what I mean? Cheap, reliable. He's there when you need him. Salah, listen, they're playing Crystal Palace away, whom they struggled against in the Community Shield, and then they have Chelsea away, 2 away games in a row. I'm not really happy. He's 14.5, not attacking that much. Of course, he'll still tick along. He's been getting those 90-minute goals and assists every single game, it seems. But I wouldn't be heartbroken to sell him, because I've sold him, of course, to afford Haaland. But yeah, I don't see. Maybe United and Brentford are good games. Then it's Villa are not that bad. I think defensively, yeah, they might concede a couple, I guess. City away. Pep just learned to park the bus recently as well, so that's news. And then of course you should get him at that point, but then that's so many games in a row that you don't have to have him. There are other options. For 14.5 you could. It's not a bad option. I'm not going for him is all I'm saying. Fernandes, Cunha, and Mbeumo, their XGs have been amazing. Fernandes, I don't need to discuss that much. I just explained he's on set pieces and defensive contributions, and he attacks and does whatever he wants. He's a talisman. Cunha and Mbeumo, they're sleeping. Trust me, they're sleeping. They have the, like, Mbeumo should have had 3 or 4 goals against City and Chelsea. By the way, all right. So he's just been a little bit unlucky. Cunha got injured. He was amazing against Arsenal and against Fulham, and then Burnley he gets injured. I had him as captain, by the way, so unlucky me. We haven't seen him the last 2 game weeks, but I think if he will start, and I think he's gonna be golden. Trust me, this is the differential I think you've all been waiting for. Like these 2 players right here. I'm not sure which one. If I had to go for just 2 of them, like Fernandes and one of Cunha and Mbeumo, I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll go Mbeumo, I guess. Less competition on his side. But for the time being, I'm going all 3. Gordon is a nice pick. He always looks dangerous. Newcastle have nice fixtures after Arsenal, so he has Forest, Brighton, good fixtures, West Ham, Brentford. I might actually go Cunha to Gordon. I'm not 100% sure in that. I need to study that a little bit more, but he is an option. And yeah, that's it, guys, for the midfielders. There's not many players to talk about, honestly. It's just a limited list of players. But anyways, let's discuss the forwards. Okay, guys, so in terms of forwards, I'm not going to spend too much time. I realized I spent a little bit like too much time on the other sections going through this. Again, like the players pick themselves. I don't even know why I have Watkins over here. Yeah, he might suddenly start scoring at home to Fulham and Burnley, but you know what, I'll just get the nailed Arsenal striker, who everybody seems to be upset with, by the way. I don't know why. I don't know what they're expecting. The guy is doing his job. He will get the chances. He's playing for one of the best teams in the world, not just England. He's on penalties. He's an Arsenal striker, guys. No need to overthink it. Get Gyökeres. Don't overthink it. And he has nice fixtures. Evanilson, he's not impressing me. For 7 million, might as well, you know, get an extra 0.8 and get Pedro, or go down to somebody else. Or just get Mateta. I'm not convinced about Evanilson. I'm not convinced about Thiago. Yeah, I'm just gonna chop some names off. Richarlison, there's Kolomwani and Solanke and Europe and everything else going on. So is he, like, I want players that play every single game. Richarlison doesn't offer that. Isidore, he's good, but if you look at his minutes, they're not that good. And Sunderland, I'm not sure. Like, I mean, he's a good bench option, I guess, but at that point, especially if you've used your bench boost, might as well just get you for 4.3 and then save the money, you know what I mean? Or if you're playing 3-4-3, then just you know, you won't even have Isidore, would you? You would have Haaland, Gyökeres, maybe, and Pedro, which everybody's going for. So I'm gonna remove his name. Bowen, I actually like Bowen. I don't know, like, I know that sounds weird, but I kinda don't mind him. If only he was on penalties, I swear I think he would be in my team. I know West Ham are terrible, but even as terrible as they've been, he's still getting the goals. The guy's just that good. He's just not on penalties, so he has to score and work so hard. And I see him scoring, that's the thing. But for 7.7, why not just get Pedro for 7.8 or Mateta, or, you know. Yeah, so for the time being, I'm gonna remove his name. I have Ekitike here, but I'm removing his name because we know for a fact he will skip 1, 2, or 3 games in the next 5 or 6 game weeks. Not reliable, sorry guys. Isak, same story. He's still betting in. Is he gonna start more than Ekitike? Absolutely. Could he start in Gakpo's place? Of course. But they don't have that, like their fixtures aren't that appealing, and there are other strikers again like Gyökeres for 1.5 million cheaper. Is Isak 10.4? I think it's 10.5. Yeah, for 1.5 cheaper. He's on penalties 100%. He plays for Arsenal. Like what? Like just remove him. Mateta. Yeah, good option. I think these are the good options. Voltemade, the thing is, I liked him. I watched him against Bournemouth. He looked lively. Yes, he didn't get a lot of chances, but the guy is good. And they have amazing fixtures. So I'm not really ignoring him, but he is on the list. He is on the list. So these are my picks, guys. The one thing that scares me about Pedro is that there's Europe, and there's a million strikers once Dilap comes back, of course. And when he goes to play for Brazil, he goes to South America, which is quite far. So when he comes back from an international break, he could be, you know, a little fatigued. And Maresca has proved that he likes to rotate. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing about Pedro. That's what's putting me off. And if he was guaranteed on penalties, which he, by the way, he could pick up the ball and take the next penalty off of Enzo. I'm just not sure about it, you know? Like, just Enzo took the last one. If Pedro was on penalties, there's no doubt in my mind I'd have him. But I need a guarantee. So going back here, guys, it's pretty obvious. It's Gyökeres. The other player is not obvious because I can choose between Voltemade and Strand Larsen. For the time being, I'm going for the cheaper player. And by the way, guys, like I'm recording this and they're playing right now. Like Wolves are playing right now, so we can literally see live how they're performing. And yeah, Wolves. Sorry, Strand Larsen has started. Let's see if he scored. No, he hasn't. Assist? No. He actually got subbed out in the 68th minute. Alright, I don't know. Oh, by the way, Agbadu's got... Oh no, that's Andre who got injured. Agbadu's still there. Yeah, guys, sorry, I don't know. I'm just... what's it called? Digressing. Yeah, so... Strand Larsen... I'm changing this live. I already thought about this video for so long. Maybe this, but this is roughly the team I'm going with. But if I was you guys, I wouldn't do that. I'd do this, maybe, and just, you know, save myself a headache. Save yourself a headache. Hell, you can even get freaking Gabriel. So this is another possibility, guys. And you'll still have 0.9 in the bank. But yeah, and if you want Semenyo instead of Mbeumo, that's also very viable. Like, I wouldn't be against that. But yeah, guys, this is the draft roughly, or my version, and I'm gonna go through both templates in a second. So guys, right now, as of this second, this is my team. And again, Strand Larsen might become a Voltemade. Am I pronouncing his name correctly? I think I am. I'm still not quite sure. I mean, I know maybe this is crazy. Why am I even picking Strand Larsen? Let's pick Voltemade, even though Wisa might be coming in like 3 or 4 game weeks time, but by then I would have gotten rid of him, I guess. I wouldn't play him against Arsenal. Like, I don't have to. I can just pretend he's a bench fodder. Like, just because you have 8 attackers, you don't have to feel bad about benching one of them. But yeah, I have a lot of thinking to do about this third attacking position. The rest of the team I'm actually very happy with. Burn might become a shallow, but that's the only difference. So Burn might become a shallow, but those are the 2 differences. But let me just go with Burn for now, and I'll show you what the team looks like in the game weeks going forward. So this is next week. I guess Voltemade can be played against Forest, especially with Postecoglou coming in. And apparently I'm bench boosting. I think this is a good bench boost team. Rodon at home. So center backs, if they just get 3 or 4 points, like everybody this week was buzzing. The people that activated their bench boost and got 4 points from Dubravka and 4 points from Estev, I'll be buzzing as well, like next week, if these guys do well. You know what I mean? If they get 3 points each. Even in DI, if he gets well, he can't, yeah, he can get 3 points. I mean, he gets 2 defensive contributions and a yellow card, I guess. But yeah, so these, or a clean sheet. So these are the players I'm going with for the bench boost. It's not a bad bench boost, and I just want to get rid of it, guys. I don't care for it that much. This is a decent bench. It's fine. And then look at this team. It looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, what's there to hate about this? Moving on. I free hit this game week mainly because Newcastle have Brighton away. My 3 United players have Liverpool away. Goalkeepers has Fulham away. Raya Fulham away. The bench, I mean, I don't want Anderson, Arsenal at home. DI City away. Yeah, I can play Rodon and stuff. Richards has Bournemouth. Senesi has Crystal Palace. They're against each other. It's just not looking good, even though I have the best captain that week. But I can just free hit and ignore, and I can get maybe players from, I mean, it seems like everybody has a tough game that week. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I won't free hit. But anyways, it's just a possible free hit. Yeah, game week 9, I'll just get Palmer and Pedro, so that I would remove Haaland. Again, this is just an example. That's if Pedro's looking like he's reliable, he's not gonna lose any minutes. If he does, I don't mind ignoring Chelsea. Yeah, I'll be a little bit scared of Palmer, but I guess I can just drop Voltemade, get you, and then upgrade one of the United midfielders to Palmer. So there's a lot of ways to work to make this work. Game week 10. Team looks fine. Obviously, Pedro's not the captain, but I didn't assign the captaincies yet. Voltemade should be playing, actually. Maybe instead of Pedro, if anything. Not captain, don't worry. And by then we'll have so much information, so we'd know who to pick. And it's so nice having 8 attackers, because the one attacker that I don't trust, I can just put outside. And I can even play Anderson. If, let's say, Cunha is not playing well, or he's rotated or whatever, there you go. Yeah, then we don't need to change much here. This guy comes in again for this guy, and again I could play Cunha, Senesi. There's so many guys. There are so many options. That's the beauty of this team. There are so many options. All 15 players could be played, literally. Game week 12, apparently I use a transfer here. Oh yeah, so I transfer Voltemade out to Gu. I don't know why I did it this game week. I could have just done it the next one with 5 transfers, but it's the same thing, I guess. And then game week 13 is a bit tricky, but with 4 transfers you could get to 3 Liverpool and 2 City. So I'll just need to get Haaland, because guys, right here is when you need 3 Liverpool and 2 City, or 3 City, of course, if you can. Look at this, guys. They play 1 promoted team, 2 promoted team, 3 promoted teams in the space of 7 game weeks, and they have West Ham at home. Come on. Liverpool have West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Wolves, Leeds, Brighton as well, who aren't that good defensively. Spurs is the only like annoying fixture because they're a good defensive side nowadays. But like 6 out of 7 fixtures, like that's why at that point you should definitely be holding at least, guys, at least 4 transfers. At least if you're wildcarding right now or whatever, you have to have 4 transfers by game week 13. You have to, or you should already have all the City players and Liverpool players in your team to be ready for this game week. I probably move on my United players, of course, at that point, and my Chelsea players, and I'll get maybe Isak, Gakpo, or Verts at that point, because Salah will be going to AFCON anyways. Even I can even get Salah, of course, at that point, because there's going to be a lot of money when I drop Fernandes, Cunha, Buemo, Palmer. Like, it's not, you know, it's a lot of money. But yeah, guys, that's it for this. I'm gonna go to the template team transfer plans. So this was my team. I'll go to the template team. So yeah, guys, this is the template team. This is the kind of team that you'll see almost exclusively. Everybody will be picking this team. I think these are the most popular players, and it looks amazing. Like, I can't fault this team at all. If we go through the different weeks, that's fine. Liverpool aren't that great of a defense. You can play Pedro. Yeah, it's a bit boring, this team, in my opinion. Apparently I'm free hitting this week. Yeah, I guess I would also free hit, of course, with this team. A lot of away games. Yeah, I would free hit as well. Game week 9, you get Palmer. It's a very straightforward team. I don't know why. Like I should be going for this. I should be saving myself headaches. Just go with the assured stuff. But I like taking risks, you know. I like to have fun. Again, looks absolutely fine. Beautiful team. I can't fault it, guys. Guys, my advice is don't do what I did with the other team. Do this. This is good. This is very, very good. And we haven't used this transfer. Like, come on. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Like, you could even get Chalobah here somewhere. I think you could have gotten Chalobah from the get-go, perhaps. But yeah, guys. We're game week 12. 0 transfers. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous team. And you could always play Reinders instead of anybody. Like, I don't know, if DI is not convincing, just play Reinders. And game week 13, you've reached it with 2 City players. So you just need to use 5 transfers to get 3 Liverpool and that extra City player, which is quite easy if you remove Palmer, Pedro, Gyökeres, Gabriel. I don't know, if I try to do it very quickly just now. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this live. These never work out when you try to do them live. I guess Salah or Verts. Let's just Salah. Can you even afford Salah? I guess, yeah. We need to drop these 2 players. Who else can we drop? I mean, if this guy becomes you, let's say, and actually it's a bit tricky to have Haaland, Salah, and Virgil, and Raya, and yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing this live, but guys, doesn't matter. You have 5 transfers to figure it out, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so guys, yeah, these were the 2 templates. Let's go to the outro. So guys, thank you so much for watching. So this was an, you know, at least I think it was a comprehensive and full guide. Hopefully I covered all the popular picks. I might have missed out on a few players that I didn't mention. It did take a lot of thought and a lot of time today just to go through every single possible permutation and possibilities. I know the template team I chose is quite template. I could have just gotten it off of maybe another content creator or something, but trust me guys, I've put a lot of thought into this. Especially thinking about the chip strategy, especially thinking about how we could get to game week 13 without using any transfers, so you could, you know, use or have 4 or 5 transfers at that point. And yeah, I think the thing is the template picks itself, and if you want to take some risks, go for United players like I did, or I'm going to be going for United players. I might not go for 3, but I 100% will be going for at least 2. But yeah guys, that was it. If you liked the video, please leave a like. It helps the algorithm, it helps other people find me. If you think my content is useful and enjoyable and educational and all the nice words, then please like and leave a comment. If you disagree with something, please leave a comment and tell me what you disagree with. I'd like to interact with you guys. Sometimes you guys might, you know, convince me of doing something else. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm like 5.9 millionth in the world right now. So is every other content creator, because it's, I think, a more difficult year this year. But yeah, I'll take everybody's opinion seriously. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.